So, hello, we are here in Utrecht with Burr Sutter. We are just done with our meetup. Burr, how was the energy of the meetup?
I thought it was fantastic. I'd have to admit the host here, the Ordina folks, put on a really great, we had really great food. This is a perfect venue when it comes to putting on a nice presentation. I've actually had to deliver presentations on top of like ironing boards and milk crates. You know what I mean? So I really respect the fact that these guys had a great set of infrastructure for us to put on a nice presentation. So really fantastic.
So also for the people who weren't here with us, what were your presentations about tonight, Burr?
Well, and I should also mention the audience was very much engaged, and we had questions that lasted a long time after the presentation. So that's a good indication of the energy of the group. But we focused on Kubernetes because that's a key area I like touching on is Kubernetes and how to get started with Kubernetes. But we also went quickly into Istio, the service mesh technology, for how do you manage microservices at scale. We showed people traffic routing and traffic shifting, dark launches, smart canaries, things of that nature, observability. And we also showed a Knative and the serverless architecture on top of Kubernetes, so you can see the dynamic auto scale up from 0 and back down again. So we touched a lot of different things, showed them some Quarkus as well, where you know how you compile Java to a native executable, run it super fast, super small. So I think that also got a lot of people's attention. We showed people how to do that, native executable with Java.
Yeah, cool, great. So more or less, what is the main takeaway from tonight? If I told you people are about to leave and they go tomorrow back to their jobs, sorry, what would you like them to keep in mind?
Well, I did notice that most of the people tonight, when I asked who had touched Docker and who had touched Kubernetes, almost all the hands went up. People had spent some time there. So really what they saw tonight was more advanced things they could do with Kubernetes, like Service Mesh, like Knative, like Quarkus, to basically really optimize that Kubernetes experience that they might already be doing today. So I would say that was really the key element, is to broaden the minds, to say, look, there's additional superpowers on top of Kubernetes you may not have known about, or at least not had them explained in a way that you'd understood the use cases.
Okay. And last question, I guess. Any tips for our engineers? Any tips from your side? How should they drive their career in case they have any kind of doubts in terms of DevOps or anything related to that? Is there anything they should start doing when it comes to driving their careers to a DevOps way?
I think it's a very important question, and I've actually had this conversation with people before related to the concept of, I'm a firm believer in an individual owning their own career. The company they work for owes them nothing, doesn't have to train them, doesn't have to give them anything necessarily. You own the skill set that you bring to the table, and you have to always be learning. So I'm a big believer in constantly learning. I do this personally, and I live it. I tell my children about it. You're always learning, and you're always growing, and you're not doing it in the 9-to-5, 40-hour job in some cases, because the job doesn't care if you learn, right? The job doesn't care if you have employment 5 years from now. They might, but many jobs do not, right? But you have to ensure that your skill set stays relevant, your skill set stays marketable, and maybe if you're clever about it, your skill set actually becomes more profitable to you. So by learning the right things at the right time. So I believe in building your own toolbox, having that toolbox as robust and your tools as well maintained as possible. That's your skills. And then, and right now that's Kubernetes, right? That's definitely a skill that everybody's in high demand. It does apply to the DevOps universe, because now in a DevOps world, if you're practicing those skills of automation, infrastructure as code, deployment pipelines, blue-green canaries, all that, you can start applying all those in a Kubernetes-style architecture. And the good news is, if you do it with Kubernetes, your skills are portable across all clouds. It's not Amazon only, it's not Azure only, it's not Google only, right? Or IBM only, or Alibaba only, or whomever. It is Kubernetes, 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 Kubernetes everywhere. And in my case, I work for Red Hat, so we do that with OpenShift everywhere, right? That's our distribution of Kubernetes. And so that's actually one of the demos I showed tonight, was how we have a single application running across 4 different clouds, and we actually move transactions back and forth across all those clouds.
So more or less, we are the owners of our careers. That's the main takeaway also from Burr Sutter, I guess. Thanks a lot for coming here to Utrecht. Hope to see you again soon.
Yes, absolutely. I had a wonderful time. This has been a wonderful experience.